Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
The Keokuk County Veterans Affairs Office in Sigourney wishes you the very best this holiday season. And please remember those that aren't with their families this year, as they are protecting our great country. For more information on Keokuk County Veterans Affairs, contact Michelle Herman, the Veteran Affairs Administrator, at 101 South Main in Sigourney. Brushed by Jude at 116 First Avenue in Oskaloosa brings life back to your furniture. What was once viewed as dated or old-fashioned is transformed to have a whole new life ahead of it. Stop in and see Judy Gronendijk for furniture restoration. Plus, there are classes to learn how to paint furniture. Go to brushedbyjude.com for hours and more information. And stop in on the south side of the square in Oskaloosa to do some Christmas shopping at Brushed by Jude.
Attention Iowa business owners. Is your business missing sales because you're too busy to follow up? Every missed call or delayed message could be costing you money. At Easy Biz Tech, we help local businesses stay ahead by automating customer follow-up, so no lead gets left behind. Missed a call? Our system texts back instantly. Need personalized outreach? We send automated texts, emails, and even use AI-powered voice agents to connect with your customers 24/7. Stop losing money because of slow follow-up. Contact Easy Biz Tech today, where Iowa businesses win online.
Colbert Feed in Sigourney, more than just a feed mill. Colbert Feed is your horse source in Keokuk County. We provide bulk or bag feed for your livestock. We have a selection of horse feed, dog food, cat food, and bird food. Colbert Feed is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You can stop by and see Colbert Feed by the Expo in Sigourney or call 641-622-2828. That's Colbert Feed in Sigourney. And a good morning. Welcome into the sports section. We are live from Barnwired in downtown Sigourney, and Barnwired located at 119 East Marion Street. Of course, you can stop in on this chilly Saturday morning for some breakfast, some coffee, and maybe do some Christmas shopping while you're here. Or you can just stop in and hang out and be part of the sports section. We have a loaded show today, and we're going to start things off with Pekin girls basketball. Let's go to our host, Andy McGuire. Andy, you've got a screen full of Pekin basketball girls and Coach Idle with you this morning. I'll let you start.
Yeah, it's good to be here at Barnwired on Saturday morning for the sports section. And you're right, we have a lot of folks here. I always like chatting with these young folks, and I have no chance in remembering what these girls' names are. So I'm going to throw it down to Coach Idle. Coach, could you introduce the team for you, who you brought with you this morning?
Well, standing in the back is Paisley Coleman. She's a sophomore. Ezra Parsons, she's a sophomore. Abby Geis, right here, is a junior. In the middle is Maddie Petron, sophomore. My only senior on the team this year is Renee Eubanks.
Do we need to do that again, Steve?
No, we're good.
Oh, good.
Start from the beginning. Actually, start from the beginning, Coach. I apologize. Go ahead.
Okay, introducing them, sitting right next to me is my only senior, Renee Eubanks. Next is the sophomore, Maddie Petron. Next is on the bottom row here is Abby Geis, the junior. In the back is the quiet one, Ezra Parsons, a sophomore. And not so quiet, the tall one is Paisley Coleman. That's also a sophomore.
All right, so I have no shot in remembering any of these names again. So we're going to start with the senior on the end. Can you describe each one of your teammates as far as personality? We're going to talk basketball, but one of the things that I love to do is get the show started. So go ahead and talk about all of them. Yeah, you can describe each one of your teammates here as the senior.
We have Maddie, and she's very uplifting and positive on the court, always has a good mindset. Abby keeps us in a good mood, keeps the energy up, always laughing. Paisley, she'll get you the ball whenever, good personality, she's positive, she knows what she's doing. Ezra, very quiet, very content, she keeps us calm on the court.
All right, Ezra, I would normally just go straight to you, since you are the least outspoken, but I'm going to save you, okay? We'll not start with you right now. But I'm going to go to my partner in crime right here next to us. Apparently we fouled out early in the game last night. I can't let that one go either. So tell us how that first half went for you.
So it was a pretty high-speed game, and things like that happen. So you just gotta keep cheering on the bench and do what you can for what you have.
So these fouls, were they legitimate fouls, or was this something that the black and white stripes were just picking on you?
You know what?
Plead the fifth. No comment?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know what. No, that's okay. So we'll go next down in line. How's the season going so far? I know the record. Why don't you share the record with our viewers and let them know how this season's going? Yeah, right here in the middle.
We're 3-3, and I think this season is going pretty good for us. We definitely have really good defense in all our games. Last night was a really good defensive game on our part, and we've just been really doing good this season and working well together.
All right. So now I'm going to throw it back to Ezra. So we're going to bring you in now. Now we'll give you the easy ones. Who did you guys play last night, and what was the final score?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know what the final score was. We played, what was it? We played Hillcrest, and it was like 30-something to 40? I don't know.
Okay.
It was not very good.
Not very good, but still a game that you guys played, and it was a nice night. So I'm sure you guys are excited to be in the gym, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 3-3, you're at 500 at this point, and you guys are probably done for Christmas break, right? You guys will come back after the new year, I'm assuming, Coach.
We have two games, January 2nd and January 3rd.
January 2nd. Gotcha. Okay. So the 3 wins that you got, who are those 3 wins against, Coach? Do you remember? Can you share us who that was?
Beat L&M, and we beat Waco and Wapello. So that was good. First time in a few years we won 3 in a row. And like I told these girls, we've struggled a few years in a row. We've had some good 20 game seasons, been to the state, and then it goes up and down, and we're kind of building back. And I always told them, you start out and you play a good game, and you play another good game. Well, then you don't keep going up each game. You take a step back, but when you take a step back, it's always better than when we started. So last night we did lose. There's some things we need to work on, but that game was better than our first one this year. And when we come back, I think you're going to see us go back and start building up again.
Sounds like you're trending in the right direction. It's
I
making
think so.
an investment. You put your money in a program, and you might have ups, you might have downs, but at the end of the season, hopefully you're on the right path, right?
Yeah, we are. It's fun. This group of girls is a little different. Each one is probably one of the better groups that I've coached. They're fun, and the one thing that's kind of nice about, and it's different in basketball, and I can go through each one of these. These are either a softball. She's ran in the state track meet, and she's our best softball pitcher. So they really have another sport. Now we try to develop into basketball, and that's harder, but we're getting there. We really are. These are girls that will work hard. They're good athletes, and it's just hard to go from one sport to the other. But we're getting there, and so now we can say I think all of them are getting to be pretty good basketball players.
That's great to hear, Coach. One of the things I've been really impressed every time I've had a chance to chat with a Pekin athlete is just the quality of kids that you all have down there. And that's a testament to the parents and a testament to the coaches and to the teachers. And, Coach, I know you do both of those things. And, girls, I'm sure you're aware that Coach Idol has been around at this for a few years. Coach, how do you take a team like this where I think you have 2 seniors? If I read the roster right, you only have 2 seniors.
Just one.
Just one? Okay, just one. But a really, really young group for the most part, and keep them competing at that varsity level that they need to be competitive. How do you keep that mindset going?
Well, number one, you have to make sure they work hard. And then, like I said, I always use this philosophy, and this is what they do. You got to work hard, but you got to have fun. It's not all business. And then never look back, and we'll go, and we never look back at a previous game. We always look forward, and it's kind of nice that I get to see them all the time in class. We talk all kinds of things, like today. I said we should go to the Sigourney Golf Course because that's where they ran cross country, practicing. And if they need to take over and practice sometimes, give me some ideas. I'll come up, Renee, what do you think we ought to do tonight? I'm not one that has it all written down every single day what we're doing. We might change halfway through practice, but it's fun. And you can see here's these girls right here. They did lose last night, but they're in a good mood today. They know we'll be back. We'll get ready to go.
Yeah, I was at the Keota Linville Sully game last night, and it went down to the wire. And I couldn't help but thinking the whole time last night, gosh, I hope these guys pull this thing off because I don't want to sit in front of this camera with that loss. But you guys don't have that feel about you today. It's a lot of high energy. You guys are smiling and laughing. Even the gals in the back, right? Yep. There we go.
And what's kind of nice is I get to see them every day, and every one is different, completely different. And you have to know how to take them all. She talks all the time. She never talks. And Renee kind of comes in. I see her first thing in the morning, and then Paisley, I have her in biology, and she doesn't say much until class is over, and then she never stops talking. And it's kind of nice also. I have an advantage, I think, that I know their parents and have coached their parents. This one in the back right here, that she'll never talk. She'll smile. See, her grandpa, I coached him in basketball quite a few years ago, and he was my starting center and my state runner-up in the pole vault. So we talk about that, and that's one of the combinations I get. Maddie never used to talk, would never go out. I'm not running, I'm not doing this, but you get all these girls together, and great group. It's completely different. You won't find a group like this in a lot of schools.
Well, we had a first-time coach where we have a coach talk about coaching one of the players' grandparents. Yeah. You've seen a few things, Coach.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it is to talk about and so forth.
Yeah. So I know this, but share with the viewers, Coach, how many years have you been coaching and how many years have you been teaching?
61.
61 years.
And
that's
61
impressive.
coaching.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So I could do an entire show with you, Coach. I'm sure I could, but I just want to know from year number 1 to year number 60, what have you seen the biggest differences between the youth that you have participated with?
Well,
besides gym socks,
we're kind of. I've seen a lot of things, but as far as the kids go. Not a lot. Now, in teaching, it's like night and day. But in coaching, we do the same things we've always done. I haven't seen a big difference. If you get a group of kids like this, great work ethic, that hasn't changed. I taped her ankle last night, and I told her that my brother-in-law showed me how to tape an ankle in 1963. I taped it the same way, and wasn't it pretty good?
Oh yeah, it was good.
And the kids haven't changed as far as I you have to coach differently. Parents are different, things like that, but not on the court in practice. It really hasn't changed that much.
Well, Coach Howard was on a few weeks back, and he wants to do a segment on club sports, and I think he wants to talk about parents a little bit, is what I'm guessing too. I'm sure I couldn't keep him away, so maybe we can invite you back and we can do a roundtable discussion on this topic in and of itself.
That'd be good. Bob and we've known each other for a long time and so forth, and I do want to mention, since this our program, I think, is the basketball is really good, and I give a lot of credit to, and the girls know this, who else from Sigourney is at our school and is our AD that's done a good job promoting.
Weber.
Yeah. Coach Weber,
Yep.
went to Sigourney,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's our AD
Oh, yeah.
and
Yep.
done a real good job kind
Yeah.
of organizing things.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we spent a lot of time this fall talking to Coach Weber about the football season, and then he was on with Chloe Glosser for the cross-country season, the state meet there. And what a wonderful coach, and you guys are lucky to have him. And I would also point out another Sigourney alum, Frosty Striegel's down there as well. So we know there's a connection here, and I've dubbed it no longer the backyard brawl, but maybe the backyard barbecue. A little bit friendly, right? You agree, Renee?
Yeah.
All right. So Coach Idol talks about that ankle taping. How was that ankle tape? Was it acceptable?
Yeah, he did good.
Renee approves, Coach. All right.
Well, that's good.
Well, we're going to run it around the horn here because we have a lot of folks we're going to get through on the program, so I don't want to cut it too short. But what I do want to ask is we're coming into Christmas season, girls. What do you guys want for Christmas? And we're going to start at the back here.
I actually have no clue what I want for Christmas.
I don't know either.
Come on, girls. Give me
I
something.
don't.
Make something up. New pair of shoes.
How'd it go?
Oh, me? Just like sweatpants and sweatshirts and, all that comfy stuff.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
refs moving forward.
Hope so. Hope so.
Just clothes.
All right.
Clothes and new shoes.
Coach, what do you want for Christmas? You got to participate too.
We're going Christmas shopping today, and when I go to Shields, Sandy will say, "Here, buy your new pair of shoes." I always like new running shoes and so forth. So
There we go.
I'll probably buy my own today.
All right. So it was Paisley, right?
Yep.
So you're the talkative one, but yet you haven't said a whole lot.
Yeah,
You want to talk? You want to hold court right now?
I'm good.
Nothing at all? Nope. Okay. All right, so we're going to ask one last question that I always ask everybody. I'm going to ask two questions. One, we'll start with this. Coach, what are the goals for the rest of the season?
Oh, I think just like I said before, we're going to work hard and have fun, never look back. And I think too many times, like I said, a couple of the girls, the record, what is it? No, it'll take care of itself. But we want to just work hard and look at them. We lost a game last night. They stayed and they got up early. They're here. Look at their attitude. Good, smiling, and so forth. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Just buy into the team, help each other out, and so forth. Be one unit.
Yeah, that's one thing I always try and peel out of the groups that I talk to is a little bit of personality. And this is oozing out of you guys, and it's bumming me out that you're so quiet because I know that there's a whole lot of fun in this crew right here. So we'll end with something like that. On a pregame, what do you guys do to get up for the game? Is there music in the locker room? Yeah, there's music. All right. So I always like to ask the question, what are the songs that get you guys going? Do you guys have a dance or something? You're pointing at Paisley.
It's your playlist. Well, it's just this playlist I have, and we just scroll through whatever is sounding good in the moment. We just listen to. It's different every time, but definitely something hype, and we jam it out in the locker room before.
Is Ezra the hype girl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she is.
No? Ezra, what's your jam? You got to give me one song. Give me a name of any song.
I don't know. I don't really listen to that kind of music.
Have you ever been excited about anything? All right. So anyway, back down the line, girls. What's the song? Give me a song. I'm not letting you go until somebody gives me a song title.
Abby, I got one. Okay. It Will Rain by Bruno Mars.
There we go.
Yeah.
It Will Rain. That's a good one. It will rain buckets, right, Coach?
I don't know. I've never heard of that song. I don't know.
All right, Coach. What was your hype song back in the day?
Oh, probably there was a record by Tommy Hall in 1958, and it was called Sandy, and that's who I married.
Nice. What a sweet gesture. I'm not going to go any further with that. So we're going to end on Tom Hall's Sandy, Coach Idol, and
I got a
Steve's gonna ask
question. I got a question for Abby. So Abby, we were talking before we went on. Do you have any idea how many rebounds you're averaging per game?
Oh, my.
Is it in double digits?
Yeah.
Okay,
usually, yeah.
So what's the key to rebounding?
Boxing out. That
Okay.
helps a lot. That is
Okay.
the number one thing, and we're working really hard on that this year.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're a heck of a rebounder. So
Thank
before you
you.
guys get out of here, squeeze in, lean in a little bit, and let's get a team picture here in 3, 2, and 1. All right. You guys are good to go.
Thanks,
And
guys.
again, that is Pekin Panther girls basketball here on the sports section here on Steve Shetler Media. We finally have our technical difficulties all good to go, and we are worked out. Let's hear from one of our sponsors, AE Realty. Find your Iowa dream home with AE Realty in Montezuma. With unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise, AE Realty is the Montezuma real estate expert you've been looking for. Whether you're buying or selling, AE Realty can help you get the best deal. You can find AE Realty at 321 East Main Street in Montezuma. Call 641-623-2639 or online at www.aerealtyinc.com. All right, we thank AE Realty for being one of our sponsors here on the sports section. Again, we are live from Barnwired in downtown Sigourney, a great place to get in this Saturday morning for some warm coffee, some warm breakfast, do some Christmas shopping, and get going on this Saturday. Should mention also, Andy, you and I were talking before we went on that this is going to be a program that we are going to be putting in podcast form. I'm finally gotten around to doing some podcasts now here in the last week or two, and this is going to be one of those that'll be popping up on Spotify and other podcast outlets. So you can watch the video live. You can go and listen to it in a podcast form after the fact a little bit later on today. So just something new. Andy, we've got North Mahaska Archery with us this morning. Take it away.
All right, North Mahaska, first archery group that we've had on the sports section on a Saturday. So this is going to be uncharted territory for me. But I'm excited about this. I have a nephew that shot archery and a couple of nieces that shot archery too. So I'm relatively familiar with the program. But Coach, why don't you start us out and tell us about the sport, about the scoring and how it works and what a meet looks like, that sort of thing.
All right. So for those not familiar with it, we shoot archery in the high school gymnasium. We hang a net across the back of the gym, set up targets across the gym, and then typical tournament, you might have 20 targets with 40 archers all shooting about every hour on the hour. The scoring, you have 3 rounds of scoring at 10 meters, and then you move back to 15 meters, and you have 3 rounds of scoring. Each round is for a total of 50 points, so total score of 300 if you shot a perfect thing. Total points available.
Right. For those watching, we have entered the metric system, so we did say 10 meters and 15 meters.
Correct.
Not yards.
No.
Gotta love that. Have you guys seen the George Washington skit that Nate Bargatze did on Saturday Night Live? No? Boy, that fell short. Have you seen it, Steve?
Nope. I don't stay up that late, Andy. I'm old. I go to bed early.
I'm dying up here. All right. Well, we'll move away from this distraction that is the host and talk about your season. How's the season going, Coach?
So far, we've only been to one tournament, but it was pretty successful. We, as a team in high school, we placed second in both 3D and in bullseye traditional, and yeah. So this year we got 7 seniors total. I got 3 of them with me today. We got about 45 kids out in our program this year, so it's our largest number ever. We're pretty excited what this year is going to bring because got good numbers.
45, that's impressive. And I've been to a handful of these the archery tournaments, and man alive, there are a ton of kids that are joining in the sport. I'd say it's one of the fastest growing sports that I've seen out there. Why don't you introduce the seniors that you brought with us, Coach?
All right, so down on the end we got Morgan and then Jackson and Stacia.
All right. So we're going to go to the kids now. How long have you guys been shooting archery? And we'll start this way, and then we'll come back with another question. How long have you been shooting?
6 years.
Yeah. So I started in 7th grade. So I've been in archery for 6 years.
I started in my 9th grade year, and I've been shooting ever since those 4 years.
I've shot since 8th grade, and that's about 5 years.
Yeah, so you guys have a lot of experience. How much time do you guys put in outside of just practice? Do you guys shoot at home?
So this was the last couple of years. I've just now started shooting outside of practice, and I started in September. I set up my target, and I got all ready for the season, which was about a month before we started practice within the team.
I've shot off and on outside of practice, but not really normally.
Yeah, I just shoot off and on. It's not very consistent, but just a little bit of practice here and there.
Righto. So you guys, it's very specific equipment that you shoot with. This isn't like a compound bow that you would shoot with if you were to hunt deer.
No, it's a Genesis original bow. The draw weight's probably a little over 20 pounds. I mean, and everybody has to compete with this Genesis original bow and Easton 1820 arrows. So from a senior down to a fourth grader, they're all shooting the same equipment. So it kind of puts everybody on a level playing field. There's no sights on it. A lot of instinctive shooting, muscle memory, building that up. It all helps with getting a good score.
What was that?
Having the spot on the target.
Having the spot. Yeah, that's where I was going to lead with next is what do you guys do to get prepped and what is it that you're looking at? How do you focus without sights?
So we have our setup, we do the pullback and everything, and you almost like train your brain to know right to go to this one spot on the target every single time. And after so long, it just becomes muscle memory. You just pull back and you just go right to that spot. And if you lined up correctly, you go right to the 10. And it's just repetitive on doing that, and you just know.
And so how many circles are there on the target? Obviously you have bullseye, and then it branches out, right?
So we got a bullseye, which is 10. Then we have a netter circle that's 10. And then netter circle that's 9. And netter circle that's 9. And just there's two lines to each circle for your 8s, 7s. And just circles all the way out. All the way. Then there is zeros on the target on the corners.
Right. It's really interesting going to me, if you've never been to one, how quiet it can get in there. You know, it's kind of an etiquette thing, right? I mean, there aren't people talking, generally speaking. This is a question I've always had because I haven't been to a lot, but if somebody gets unruly, how quick does it take to get kicked out of a meet? Have you seen that happen?
I've had to ask people to leave the gym or make at my tournament I've had to make an announcements to please keep it down. I mean, this requires a lot of focus to go through the steps, do the right thing. These kids are trying real hard to get their qualifying scores to go to state and stuff, so we ask very politely to keep it quiet while they're shooting so they can keep their focus.
Yeah. And Coach, you mentioned state too. So what does the season look like? How many tournaments do you go to? Then it's state, and I know that there's even another national level, right? Is that in Kentucky, if I remember right?
Yeah, so there's gotten to be 2 national tournaments. There's one out in Utah and then one in Kentucky. And then after nationals, then there is a world one. So I mean, it's really grown. It's kind of getting to be bigger and bigger everywhere. So
yeah, it's really exciting to have those opportunities to young people and travel. You mentioned 45 kids on the team. How many kids are you taking with you when you go to, say, state? What's the process to qualify and then to move up the ranks?
So when we go to state, there's two ways about it. We can qualify as a team, or we can qualify as individuals. Either way, you have to have 2 scores that add up to a certain amount. So I like getting the team score up there so we can take the team. If we take a team, we'll take 24 kids on a team to state. So if we don't qualify as a team, then it's down to the individual level as to who qualified and who didn't.
Very good. So getting back to the kids, what are you guys' goals for the season? We talked about one meet. How many more do you expect, and what are the goals for the season?
I don't know how many meets we are officially signed up for, but my personal goal for this season is to shoot over a 290 at block tournament.
My personal is to beat my 3D score, which I did win 2 tournaments last year, our home tournament and an Eddyville's tournament, and I'd like to shoot like a 280 in 3D.
My goal is to at least get 280 at state for 3D.
All right, so we didn't talk about 3D, so why don't you guys explain what 3D shooting is?
So we shoot live, or not live animals, but fake foam animals. We have a turkey, a coyote, a bear, an antelope, a deer, and a ram. And they're all spread out between every single different meters.
Yep, 10 to 15 again. Yeah, you bet. And so do you guys have a a preference if you're just shooting a regular bullseye target or 3D? What is your favorite event?
I like to shoot my 3D because I do it in real life with the compound, so it's just a natural instinct.
Yeah, same with 3D.
I'm the weird one out of us. I like block. I'm not a fan of 3D, but I will shoot it at tournament.
See, I've learned something. We call it block shooting, not whatever I just said, so I was wrong about that. Are you guys hunters too then? Do you guys hunt in the field, all three of you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no? Just target shooting. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we're getting back to this question. What do you guys do to get prepped up? What do you guys do to get revved up for a tournament? Is this like chill mode, or do you listen to something with a little more bump to it?
I just try to be as quiet as it can be. Just let my mind flow through and just calm down.
Same thing for the girls?
My big thing is good night's sleep before. Make sure I'm rested, and then about 15 to 20 minutes prior to the tournament, I put my headphones in and I'm zoning out and I'm just myself and getting my brain prepared for this.
I like to just not worry and just let it go with the flow.
And Coach, how do you handle meet day? Are you chill the whole way through, or the butterflies get you?
Oh, it depends on how things are going that day. Usually I try to be pretty chill, but 45 kids running around, it's kinda, sometimes it can be kind of hard to be chill. But yeah, I'm trying to keep the equipment, trying to make sure everything's lined up, everybody's where they need to be at the right time. So I try to be chill, but sometimes, Yeah,
for sure. All right, and last question. Have you guys ever seen the movie Robin Hood with Kevin Costner? No? Have you seen it, Coach?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Everything I do.
and Shetler singing. I thought it was weird when I started, and here we go. It's gotten even more strange. So
you got to sing the Bryan Adams. Come on, man.
All right. Yes, very true. I guess you do. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you being on the program this morning. Best of luck, and shoot them straight, huh?
I got two questions.
Oh, there we go.
All right, if we're talking movies, how about the Hunger Games? Was Hunger Games an inspiration at all for anybody? It's got a few years on it now.
I've seen some of the Hunger Games, but no, it was.
And that's exactly, it's scary how sometimes, the wavelength goes here, Steve, because I was on the drive over thinking about archery and I was thinking about movies.
Yeah.
And the only one I could come up with was Robin Hood.
Yep.
And then I thought about Men in Tights, but, and you would know Men in Tights. You guys would have no clue. If you don't know the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, Coach, you might know the Men in Tights movie, right?
I know that.
And then my other question was a little bit more serious, but have you guys ever met, or are you familiar with the armless archer? Was it Matt Stutzman out of Fairfield?
Right,
have you guys are you familiar with him or his story at all? Anybody?
Yeah. I have not, but I've witnessed I've met at different tournaments. We've had different people with different disabilities. We had an archer that I've seen an archer that uses a mouth release.
Oh wow!
He couldn't release with one arm, so he'd hold the bow out and use a mouth release.
Okay.
We've seen kids in wheelchairs shooting. I mean, we're pretty accommodating for about any scenario, trying to get kids into it. So.
Well, if you're not familiar, literally look up the armless archer is what he calls himself. No arms, and he cracks jokes at his own expense too. But he won an Olympic gold medal just here a few months ago in the Paralympics over wherever the Olympics were held. So
Paris.
Okay. So look him up. He was on. Of all things, he also races cars. It's his story is incredible. He's a race car driver. We had him on my racing show Tuesday Night Tune-Up here a few months ago. But yeah, he lives in Fairfield. He's an Olympic world champion. So amazing guy. So the armless archer. I'm gonna get a picture of you guys before you get out of here. Andy squeeze in there. 3, 2, and 1. All right, you guys are good to go. North Mahaska Archery, awesome guest this morning here on the sports section. We'll bring in the North Mahaska dance team next. And while we're in transition, we are looking at a picture of this week's Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics. Go ahead. Athlete of the Week, Cardinal Wrestling's Macy Grove. Macy was voted our Athlete of the Week, again, for Cardinal Wrestling. So she's having a heck of a year, and voted the Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to her. And then North Mahaska Girls Basketball voted our Kelly Stiles State Farm Team of the Week. Can't see you yet there, Brecken, but State Farm Kelly Style Team of the Week, North Mahaska Girls Basketball. Yeah, they're doing all right so far this year. Excited to be covering North Mahaska Girls and Boys Basketball a little bit this season here on Steve Shetler Media, so congratulations to them. All right, now Brecken was giving us the fist pump. You couldn't see it, but let's go back to Andy McGuire. Andy, you got the North Mahaska dance team with you, but obviously we've got a basketball player or two with us as well.
Yeah, this is having flashbacks, Brecken. I don't know if you remember it, but we almost had Cotton Eye Joe going
that
for the
could have
volleyball.
been so
team.
cool.
I know. Can we get that
We
today?
might get it today.
I know. I've been, last week was a dream come true. Was it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember when we had Landon Griner on from SK Bowling, and he fulfilled my goal of having somebody sing on the program. But we haven't had dancing yet. Yeah, he sang. It was Rolling in the Deep by Adele. Isn't that fitting for bowling, rolling in the deep? So, but no, it does take me back to very early on in my tenure on the Steve Shetler morning sports section show when we chatted with you guys about volleyball. That was a fun morning. And but we're going to talk about dance today, which is my favorite sport by far. They got the Kyoto basketball boys back there, and that's fine. They can sit there. But my heart is truly, and Shafley, you know it too, right? That my heart is in dance. At least it is in my daughter's heart. So I have a 9-year-old girl, and she loves dance. So I'm sure she's tuned into this to hear what you girls have to say. But you guys have something exciting going on coming up. You guys are going to a bowl game, right? And what bowl game is that?
The ReliaQuest Bowl.
All right. Who's playing in the ReliaQuest Bowl?
Michigan. I just looked it up yesterday. Michigan and I'm not really sure the other one.
We were hoping it was to be Iowa, but now
It's definitely not Iowa. Do you guys know who ReliaQuest is? Alabama. Alabama and Michigan. That is a huge game.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that is awesome. How did you guys land there?
Our coach kind of just asked us if we wanted to go, so we started fundraising for it.
No kidding.
And that's where it all started.
Yeah, so you guys are going to be on the football field. Do you guys dance during North Mahaska football games?
We did this past year. I think just once, but for homecoming normally we perform.
Yeah, you do. Okay, and then also for basketball games, some of you guys play basketball, right? Or all of you?
I play basketball.
One of you.
We cheer. The other two basketball cheer.
Yeah, Shetler led me astray again. he was implying multiple of you.
I knew Brecken did.
This is the maiden voyage on the podcast, and you don't even know who the guests are. You are a podcaster, aren't you? One of those guys. One of those guys. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves, all right? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, you go ahead and start.
I'm Lily. I've been on dance for 4 years.
What grade are you in?
Oh, I'm a senior.
All right.
I'm out.
4 years really should have told you.
Hey, we have junior high kids on. That's 6 years. That would be 6 years. Okay, I'm Brecken Shelley. I'm a senior, and I've been on every year.
I'm Maddie Van Uentricht, and I'm a junior, and this is my 3rd year.
All right, 2 seniors and a junior. Is that what I'm hearing? All right. That's awesome. All right, so we've talked about the dance. We've talked about the bowl game. Excuse me. We've talked about the bowl game. You guys do the thing on the field during football games. How much are you dancing outside of a formal setting? Do you guys dance at home? Do you guys go to the studio? How long have you been in dance, that sort of thing?
I dance competitively at a studio, that I've been there since I was like 3, and then I've been on the school dance team all 4 years.
I also have been a studio dancer since 3 years old, and my mom's the coach, so I kind of am a little dragged in. No, I'm kidding. I love dance.
I did studio dance when I was little, And then when I got to high school, I started just high school dance team.
So there's lots of different forms of dance, right? And so this is, again, I have a 9-year-old daughter. This is how I know this. There's jazz and tap and what other forms? So what are your guys' favorite forms of dance?
Maddie, you start.
Well, at the studio, I like hip hop, but on the dance team, we really like novelty.
And for those of you who don't know what novelty is, it's a dance that tells a story. This year, we were farm animals. I was a pig. Yep.
Nice.
I was a cow.
I was a chicken.
Yeah. And we also had farmers. And last year we did the state fair. The year before was a campfire, campsite, a sleepover. Novelty is a big North Mahaska. We always do it every single year.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, we did pom this year. My personal favorite's tap dancing, but they don't have that in high school. So.
Yeah. So this novelty thing is a known category of dance. This isn't something that you North Mahaska Warhawks just roll in as pigs and cows and chickens and are like, hey, here we are. Watch this. Yeah? No?
Yeah.
So, man alive. That's exactly, Steve, you were speaking, that's exactly what I'm visualizing. All right, Brecken, get up and show us the pig dance.
Do one of your moves.
Do one of my.
That's fun. Yeah. Okay. So dance, but there's also tumbling. Do you guys get into the tumbling side of things too?
I used to do tumbling, but then the teacher said I was too tall, and she couldn't spot me anymore. So that wasn't really going to work.
Too tall tumbling. Brecken Schilling. Man, I have so many questions, and I'm trying to sort them out in my mind. This is one of those good problems to have when it comes to dance. Gosh. Why don't you guys talk for it? Brecken, take over for a minute, and I'll get my thoughts straightened out. Yeah.
So, how did you do at the state dance competition?
Maddie, you go ahead and answer that.
We got 4th place in our pom routine, and we got 5th place in novelty.
There we go. Excellent question. Keep going, Brecken. Yep.
All right. So, for those of us that don't know, how do you score dance? Because I know there was a dance dad. I won't name names. It was Tim Vaseth. He's our superintendent. His daughter decided to join.
Wait, pause. You did name a name right there. Did you
I
notice
did.
that?
I name dropped.
Continue. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
He didn't know how dance was scored. How would dance be scored? Lily, why don't you take that away for us here?
Oh gosh. All I really know is point your toes and don't walk flat-footed.
Shayla preaches that.
That sounds like my wife at the basketball game last night. Box out and don't foul.
That's so true.
The fundamentals of basketball. So, yeah, that's exciting too. So, okay. I don't even know what to ask the next question. So we're just going to, oh, there we go.
I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
So my daughter was a dancer. It wasn't in high school, or it wasn't a school thing. It was just outside. But there was always a father-daughter dance at her recitals. Do you guys have those? Or have you ever danced with your dads and had a father-daughter dance? I know jazz hands and all those fancy moves. You don't want to get me on the dance floor. But, have you ever done a father-daughter dance where it's kind of fun, ha-ha type stuff?
We did at my studio, did a mother-daughter.
Okay.
But this is actually kind of fun. We do co-ed, or we did last year, state champs for the co-ed team. But I think, Lily, do you want to tell us more about co-ed?
Sadly, we didn't get to do it this year because a lot of them graduated. But it was just really fun. It honestly made state dance boys are boys. They make it fun. They stay up all night. They decided to lift at 3 o'clock in the morning. It made it all memorable. But yeah, it's funny seeing the boys try to dance and be very full with it, I guess.
Yeah. Boys are boys and boys try. And they do weird stuff like lift weights at 3 in the morning trying to impress dance girls. Cool, yeah, that's awesome, right? I'm so ashamed to be a man right now. Remembering back in the day, Steve Shetler, remembering back in the day, the foolish things. All right, guys, favorite song.
Oh, I don't even have a favorite song.
Or the first one that comes to mind.
Cotton Eye Joe, obviously.
Obviously. I don't think I really have a favorite song, but I just like anything by Olivia Rodrigo.
I'm a Machine Gun Kelly super fan. I know every song by heart.
I'm more of a country music person, so I'd say like Cody Johnson.
Oh yeah, more of the roots Cody Johnson. That's country music right there.
Yeah.
Do you like any old school country?
Some, yeah.
Name me an artist.
Oh, Josh Turner. I used to love him when I
Old
was
school
little.
country.
That's
not old
I'm
school.
not that old.
I
though.
know. I noticed.
She went all the way back to like 2000 on that
Okay,
one.
but that's
I'm
what
not.
I
I'm not
grew
that
up.
old either. I'm not that old either.
I didn't mean
I'm
to
old,
call you.
but I'm not that old.
I'm old.
Yeah, Steve is that old.
How about who inspires you dance-wise?
Dance-wise.
Is there anybody that really, Michael Jackson?
I'd say within like my life, having studio dance and like having my first like coach, she really inspired me and like pushed me to be like the best dancer I could be.
I feel like I'm kind of obligated to say my mom. She's our dance coach, but no, like I grew up watching So You Think You Can Dance and like all that kind of stuff. Dancing with the Stars. That was big in our house.
Have you ever seen Bring It On?
Yeah.
The movie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do the dance?
No.
Never. All right.
My mom was a dancer and my sister is still a dancer at college, and so I kind of grew up in a dance family too, and then I've just been in the same studio my whole life, and I've always had teachers there who really inspired me.
Have you guys ever done a Fortnite dance war? Do you know what Fortnite is?
Would you judge me if I said yes?
Can you do one for us right now?
Lily,
I
go,
just
Lily, go.
have to see this.
By the way, Josh Schilling, is that your dad?
Yeah.
Josh is in the comments, and he says that we should definitely make the girls dance this time. So,
Amen.
So
I'm just
I don't know
itching
if I
to have
can
this
catch
happen.
it on camera if you actually stood up and danced.
Yeah,
I
that might
think
not.
it'd get a little crazy, but maybe
Let's ask Josh Schilling how he dances, huh?
maybe if you guys stick around a little bit later on, we'll clear out a little dance floor.
I think they should be the dancers here.
Chase,
like, no.
Chase will dance. Chase,
You
get
and
up
the
here and
boys
do
are
a little
like, no.
dance move. Fortnite dance, something or another.
Yeah.
I think so. All right. Well, I don't have any more questions. Steve, I'm sure you have something hidden behind the...
I mean, since Brecken's here, pick her mind on some basketball if you want. I mean, North
Sure.
Mahaska.
Yeah.
All right, so how about this? Coming up I'm looking at my basketball schedule that we're covering. January 6th. I'm sure that date is circled on your calendar. North Mahaska versus EBF, 1 versus 2. Thoughts, 2 weeks ahead of that game.
So, obviously, my family's a little basketball crazy. I have already been scouting a little bit, went to a couple of the games, and honestly, anytime you have a 1 versus a 2, it's gonna be kind of crazy. And we play them every year. I have a bunch of friends on the team, like me and Ava Eastlick. We talk all the time, and I know she tuned into our PCM one because she texted me asking for the link. But no, it's just always like it's so personal when you like play a team like that. That's so close. That's so good.
Yeah.
But that one's been on the mind for quite a while.
Yeah.
But you're having a great season, right? I mean, you guys are undefeated at this point. So are the boys. I think North Mahaska basketball is on a roll right now, right? Yeah, and so obviously aspirations are very high for both programs. Are you guys thinking state tournament run?
That is the hope, yes, because Tara Greer, one of our assistant coach, her team won state. I think they could be the only girls team that won state for North Mahaska, but when she was little, her team was called Big Red Machine. She went on to coach my group. We were Big Red Machine. Like, that would be so cool to have her coaching a state championship team. And obviously, like, being ranked second, it's a possibility. January 6th could be a really good indicator on how good of a possibility that could be. But I think definitely state championship is the goal for me, at least. And I know a lot of my teammates.
Right, and you guys are cheerleaders. You mentioned that as well. So how exciting is it to have this high-powered basketball setup in North Mahaska? You guys are going to a big bowl game, and you're also cheering for this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. It's always really fun. We most of the time lose our voice, but it's so worth it. So, yeah.
And I would just really like to be able to cheer on our team if they go to state, and it's just really fun to watch them like win and get the crowd hyped up every week.
All right. Well, I'm a rule breaker. I want to see a little bit of a dance of some kind. Steve says no, but I say yes. So you guys hop up and give me like a little bit of something here. I got to see some sort of a dance.
What am I going to do?
It doesn't have to
Maybe
be.
over
It doesn't
here
have to be
somewhere?
elaborate. I mean, we could just do a little thing or whatever you got.
Come over here. I can adjust the camera.
All right, you insist. You insist.
You bet. Thank you. We've got to get this in somehow. Do it right in front of the Kyoto boys. Here we go. Oh, there was a kick. Is that a? There we got it. There we've got it. Fantastic job, girls. It's, singing first a few weeks back, and now we have the dancing on Steve Shetler Media. So now I have to reevaluate my life's goals and raise the bar, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, if you're going to stand over here, pose for a picture. All right. All right, I think that does it. Thank you, girls. We don't officially get to say goodbye to you on screen, but we'll say goodbye off screen, and we'll bring the Kyoto boys in if you guys are ready to come up next. We're looking right now at the Steve Shetler Media broadcast schedule for high school basketball. Last night we concluded, easy for me to say, concluded the 2024 portion of our schedule with a few games. Boy, I tell you what, January is loaded with basketball on Steve Shetler Media, and we'll start off with Pekin versus Columbus on January 2nd, Sigourney versus Linville-Sully at Linville-Sully on the 3rd, North Mahaska versus EBF Monday, January 6th. We've got Sigourney at North Mahaska versus Baxter. So tons of area basketball coming up in January and also into those first 2 weeks in February as well. So we're going to have a busy schedule basketball-wise here on Steve Shetler Media. Okay, Kyoto boys are up next, and Andy, I'll let you take it away. I'm sure you're very familiar with these guys.
Yep, I know one or two of them, or three. But you guys are fallen crowd killers. I mean, how do you guys follow up a bunch of girls that dance?
Jason's got some dance moves down there.
I wasn't much of a dancer, but I think Billy's in Eagle Rock or something, so he can
Billy?
teach us some dance moves.
I've never known Billy to be an Eagle Rocker. Jace,
Yeah,
you're
not me.
pulling.
I'm not either.
No?
No.
It's a good program. The Eagle Rockers, they travel all over. So, hey, that's another guest we could have at some point in time, Steve Shetler, is the Kyoto Eagle Rock. But we do have the Kyoto boys basketball. Boys, you had a big win last night, a hard-fought win. Chase, take me through it. How did you guys get that done against Linville-Sully last night?
We really came together that second half. Had a lot of dudes step up. Jackson did too. Brendan McGuire, Brody Griner hit some big shots. Everyone just kind of stepped up, and we did what we needed to do.
Yeah, was it a 2-point win, Billy? Is that what we ended up with?
Yeah, I think so.
And they did a good job kind of keeping you at arm's length. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. They did a really good job playing defense, and then me and Jace both got in foul trouble, so we were pretty limited.
So those fouls, were those legit, or was that on the stripes?
I don't know. A couple of them were questionable, but can't do anything about it. It's whatever the ref calls.
That's one of my favorite questions to ask you guys, because everybody squirms on that question because you know that you shouldn't throw the ref under the bus, but you want to.
Yeah.
Is that right, Chase?
That is right.
That is correct. But anyway, good win last night, and you guys have had an awesome start to a year, 7-0. With some new pieces. Obviously, Billy is the returning starter, the lone returning starter. Chase, you had some minutes last year. Jace, you had some minutes as well. This is a little bit of a different complexion of a team this year. What is different about this team compared to the team that went 23-1 last year? Billy, why don't you answer that question since you were the starter?
I'd say last year we had a lot more depth and a lot more experience than this year, but a lot of guys are filling in and doing a great job. So, yeah.
Can you describe the difference between your brother Cole bringing the ball up the court and Chase Hafley?
I'd say Chase he's got better handles than Cole, but I'd say they both did a really great job, and I think we're doing pretty well right now.
I'd say Chase is a little more dribble, penetrate, attack compared to Cole. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Like I say, 7-0, big start to the year. You've had a couple of tests. Chase, what were the tough games so far that you think you've played?
You know, all of them were pretty tough, really. I mean, this year, a whole different team, you know. We got a lot of close games, but I'd say we always find a way to play our ball and come out with a win. And, you know, there's going to be a lot more close games this season, too. So, yeah.
Jace, you've been replacing Evan Vitito down on the block. How much work did you put in the offseason? I've talked to a lot of folks about this. They ask me at Keota basketball. I say, Jace Kalupa, quick feet, good hands. You always seem to have a knack. You had 2 blocks in a row last night. That was one of my favorite segments of the game where you went up. How much time have you put in the gym to improve your game over the last year?
Oh, I've been going and shooting a little bit. I went to we had a summer league. I went to all them games. Pretty sure it's 4 weekends. Then we had a fall league too, and I went to all them too. So, and I've been going to open gym on the weekends. So, been putting some work in.
Yeah, you have been putting work in, and it shows. You took a 3 last night.
I did.
Is that your only 3 that you've taken of the year?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Did you feel good when it left your hand? Did you think, boy, this has a shot?
I don't know. It's a little bit rough, the first one, but I think it'll get better.
Yeah. You plan on taking more of those shots?
Yeah.
Chase, is that a good idea?
For Jason, yeah. If you're open, let it fly.
Yeah.
Open her up and let her go. Billy, you've had a good season this year. You consistently are breaking your own record rebounds for a single game. How does it feel to do that? How does it feel? Let me start with this. Last year, how did it feel to break your dad's record?
It felt good. It was nice knowing that I got more, so it felt pretty good.
You hit 24 the other night. What do you think the ceiling is for rebounds in a single game for you?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get every rebound I can to help our team win. So,
is 30 out of the question?
Probably.
And you're averaging a double-double as well. You can knock down the 3. You can play down on the low, and you can obviously get the rebounds. What part of the game is your favorite?
I like knocking down the 3 the most, which haven't been doing too much lately, but I'm sure it'll fall eventually.
Well, they might have been keen on you a little bit last night, and I think Linville slowly really slowed the game down on you guys last night. Last year was a little different story. I think you guys were a little more high-paced, but Chase, how reassuring is it to see on a night where maybe you guys aren't shooting the best when they're able to shut Billy down? Relatively speaking, Billy had a good night last night, but it wasn't a normal Billy Kindred night. You got to give credit to Linville solely for that. But how does that feel to come out with a really gritty win last night?
You know that Linville, they watched, they studied us up. They did a good job, but you know, like I said, we just had a lot of guys step up that second half and play some big key roles, and you know, we kept fighting and came out with a win. We never gave up.
Yeah, you mentioned 2 names there, Jackson Vitito and Brody Griner. And I thought Brody provided a spark that maybe he hasn't provided. You know, he always plays defense. He gets some rebounds. But last night he knocked down that 3 ball and had another bucket, I think, early in the game when points were at a premium. And then Jackson Vitito as well knocked down a couple of key 3-pointers and was at the free throw line. You know, why don't you talk about those 2 guys and what they've meant to this early season?
Jackson especially, he really helps on the defensive end, rebounding. He's really a good role player. You know, if they're like teams like Linville, they start locking up me and Billy, you know, give him the ball, let him go do something. Brody did a good job last night. He had some huge shots to start off the game. And like I said, he boxes out, he helps rebound, and they both do a great job.
There's some other guys on the team, Billy. Can you talk about some of these other guys that play? Isaac Striegel's another senior on the team. And then you've got some young bucks coming up. Porter Cave, Aiden Galindo, Brennan McGuire played quite a few minutes last night with foul trouble. Talk about some of these other guys on the team.
Oh, yeah. We got a couple ball handlers that come in when some guys need a break or in foul trouble, and those 2 are Brennan McGuire and Porter Cave. They're a little smaller, but they can handle the ball. And then we got a couple of bigger bodies like Isaac Striegel and Aiden Galindo. They come in, they play some good defense and try and get some rebounds. Like Isaac Striegel took a big charge last night. That was pretty big for the team. So they do a lot, whether they know it or not. They come in and put in some valuable minutes and helps us a lot.
And Jace, you're getting obviously the starting role this year, a lot more minutes this year. You've been a guy that has had to work his way up into that position. There's some younger guys on the team, Blake Baker and Aiden Griner. I won't call Landon Griner a young guy because he's a senior with you guys, but he's kind of our bowling squad. But he came out too. What advice would you give to some of these younger guys that are coming into the program and maybe aren't seeing the minutes they want at the varsity level at this point?
They just got to keep working hard and practice and putting in the extra work. Just all of that will get you moved up in the depth chart.
So let's get on to practice. Give me a typical Dan Stout practice. Coach Stout couldn't be with us this morning, but is that a high energy practice? Is there music going? How do you guys? What do you guys see out of practice?
I think we do a lot of running up and down, scrimmaging. I think we get after each other, we push each other, and that's a key to our success this year. Is just come out start of the year, we didn't have a whole lot of numbers. Hunter Grandstaff, Blake Baker, Aiden Galindo, Isaac Striegel, and then we had Aiden Griner and Landon Griner really step up. And without those guys at practice, I mean, we wouldn't be able to prepare for these big games, and who knows where we'd be right now without them. So they do play a big role. And yeah, I feel like we come out, everyone's trying in practice, we're all competitive. We want to win when we're doing drills and stuff, and it just makes everybody else better.
Billy, how's team culture? You've been part of the team for a long time. You've seen different guys come and go. This group specifically, guys get along pretty good. Is the attitude good before a game? Is everybody locked in, or is it kind of loose and free? What's your opinion on that?
Oh, yeah, we're always locked in, getting ready for the game. We all get along really great. It's a fun group, and I have a good time playing with everyone. So
it really seems like a selfless group. There's a lot of balls getting distributed around, guys knowing what their roles are on the team. It doesn't seem like a group that there's really any contention going on in the locker room whatsoever. Is that an accurate observation?
Yes, it's very accurate.
All right. So I've got to ask the question, guys. What is the music? What's on the playlist in the locker room ahead of the game? Jace, who runs the playlist? Let me ask that question.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
It's Boots is Boots is the nickname, right? How did you get that nickname, Boots?
I was wearing snow boots in the summer, and my neighbor called me it. So
Boots.
Yep.
Gotta love it. So it's Billy's playlist. Jace, what's the song? Is there multiple songs? Is it classic rock? Is it hip hop? What do you got going there?
Yeah, I don't really know what any of the songs are. It's a bunch of rap songs, I think.
Are you a rap guy, Jace?
No, I'm not. No.
What's your genre? Are you a country guy?
Yeah, I like listening to country. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that steer on your hat. There's a bull. I'm sorry, I didn't see
might
what
give
was.
it away a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bull. But yeah, no, I don't want to stereotype you, Jace, but you were kind of like the Cody Johnson, right?
Yeah. Yep. He's my number one artist.
All right. So Billy, who's the number one artist on that playlist? You're the one that put it together.
I don't even know. I got some rock songs on there. Like Back and Black.
Nice.
I'd say that's a go-to song on there.
Yeah.
I like some Enter Sandman. A lot of people
yeah.
say it's a football song, but I think it gets me going, gets me ready to play.
You sound like your dad. I sit right next to him at the basketball games typically, and I also sit next to him at the football games. And I always tell when Metallica comes on because he gets moving a little bit as much as Sean moves.
Yeah, I like it. Gets me hyped up.
It's genetic.
Yeah.
I think Steve Shetler likes Metallica as well. Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. All right, fellas. Last question. What is your favorite basketball movie of all time?
Ooh.
Do they know any basketball?
Do you know any? These guys have seen Space Jam. Have you guys seen Hoosiers?
I have not.
I cannot believe that, Chase.
I know.
You were the basketball aficionado, and you have not seen.
I know. I've always been wanting to watch, and I just never have.
Yeah.
Probably like Coach Carter.
Coach Carter.
Space Jam.
That's only one you'd think of, Billy. That's because I just said it.
Yeah, the only one I can think of too is Space Jam. So.
All right. It was a bad question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
I like Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
I used to watch him all the time when I was a couple years ago.
Awesome.
I used to really watch basketball then, so.
Yeah.
And I think he was the MVP or something that year, so yeah.
All right, Billy.
Oh, I don't want to say LeBron, so I'll go Steph.
Why don't you want to say LeBron?
Oh, because a lot of people don't like him.
Chafley?
I'm going to go with Michael Jordan, the guy that's better than LeBron.
All right. That was going to be my last question, was Jordan or LeBron? Jordan. Where's it at, Billy?
We'll go LeBron.
LeBron, and the tiebreaker goes to Jace, Jordan or LeBron?
I'm not sure. Probably, I'll say LeBron.
LeBron.
Andy, you and I are the old guys here. I'm the oldest guy.
Yeah.
But who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
Oh, man. You know, I used to be a really big Larry Johnson fan. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
He was a stud, yeah.
Could have been a
UNLV, the Running
linebacker.
Rebels. Yeah. I had a poster on my wall as a kid that said I was now playing linebacker for the Hornets. Before the Hornets were the Pelicans or whatever happened. Is that what happened, Chase?
It
The
was
Hornets became the Pelicans and now they're the Hornets again or something?
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, I was a big Larry Johnson fan, but I've got ultimate respect for Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Kobe.
My guy, and I would put him up for greatest player of all time, right there with Jordan and LeBron, is Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
The guy could play any position, could score points, could rebound, assists.
Yeah.
He could do it all.
I thought you were going to go back a little further, like a Wilt Chamberlain. Or
I'm a Magic Johnson guy.
Or a Dikembe Mutombo.
You guys got your purple and gold on, so
We do.
I mean those are Magic Johnson colors.
Yeah, those Kyoto warm-ups look a little Lakerish from, was it last year?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Was that the intention?
No,
never
not at all.
Okay. Just curious. All right, what do you guys want for Christmas?
Ooh. Money.
Money? Cash money.
That's right.
Some clothes.
I'd probably take either some money or a new truck or something.
A new Angus bull?
Yeah. Take something like that. Or a heifer or something.
A heifer.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Today is the day of first. We got the dance team, we've got an archery group, and we have a player asking for a new heifer for Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Here's your
Christmas
heifer.
from Southeast Iowa.
Under
All
the
right.
Christmas tree.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep saying one last question. Here's another question for you.
Yeah.
Goals for the season. Where do you guys want to end up?
The end of the season, I would like to play up at Wells. It's always been a dream, but first I'd like to win the conference and go from there.
Yep. Billy?
I'd say just finish out a good regular season and then make a good deep playoff run.
I'd say my goal is to win the Sickle, for sure.
Win the
probably.
Sickle, yeah.
Then it'd be a huge goal to go play up at Wells, too, of course.
Yeah. Well, guys have a great start. You've got a win over Linville Sully last night. You've got a win over Sigourney, who are going to be a couple of the powerhouses of the Sickle. Iowa Valley is a good team, too. All the teams are good. They all have their place. But you guys have some good wins there. Coming up after break, you have another big one, Montezuma. Chase, you know the guys on that team pretty well. I know the rest of you do, too. But you've played with some of these guys in 212.
That is true.
Does that game hold a little more weight with you as far as wanting to win, or is it just like every other game?
Not only are you friends with them, so you want to beat them, but, it's just a classic rivalry, us versus Monty. And, they're going to be a good team, but so are we, and we just got to go out and play our ball. And, you always want to win that game. So, yeah.
All right, bulletin board material time, Billy. If you could beat one team in the Sickle, what team would that be?
Probably Sigourney, just because it's intense and it's a good rivalry.
Yeah, they got you marked out, right? You got the first one. You're gonna have to come to Sigourney and steal that one.
Yep.
Are you gonna make that happen?
I hope so.
You hope so. Jace, get one win in Sickle. Who are you gonna beat?
I don't know. I'd probably say Linville Sully, but we just beat them. So that was the first time since a game that I've played in a lot that I beat Linville Sully.
Yeah, that's a big one for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was an exciting game
glad.
last night. It was a raucous gym, and you guys did an excellent job. So, all right, fellas, congratulations on an awesome start to a season. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play the rest of the way, and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
All right, before we get out of here, picture time. 3, 2, and 1. on. All right. You are good to go. Keota basketball here on the sports section here on Steve Shetler Media. Again, we broadcast every Saturday morning live from Barnwired in Sigourney at 119 East Marion. Again, you can still get in here for some breakfast, some coffee, do some Christmas shopping. They've got great specials going on for your Christmas shopping. Easy place to spend some money. Andy, let me bring you back up on the screen here. Andy, are you going to do some Christmas shopping for Erin before you get out of here today?
Every day. Yes, absolutely. Yes. I shower her with gifts as often as I can.
Oh, you do profess your love for Erin quite a bit.
Hey, it's easy. It's natural. Not a hard thing to do, Steve.
Well, we didn't do an Erin Asks.
I know.
Let
me see.
Oh, yeah.
Let me make
see
sure.
if she's got one.
Maybe she does. It
Check
doesn't
your
help that I
pocket.
don't know. She doesn't.
Okay.
She does not. But I do know we were talking about it last night. One of the questions I was going to ask the guys was, if the crowd affects their play, if they can tell, or even the referees. And I think the answer to that question is absolutely. It has to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did it affect you, Steve, when you were playing?
Oh, man, when I was a superstar on the bench.
It helped anchor things down. You don't want that bench getting away.
Yeah, I was like, all right, everybody calm down.
The voice of reason. You grab the mic from the scorer's table and just take over.
I was all right, so we're going to get way off. This is just me and you talking now.
Yeah.
I was very quiet in high school, believe it or not.
Really?
Like, I wasn't very social. I kept to myself, so I didn't come out of my shell until after high school. So, yeah, I didn't really say a whole lot. But, and by the way, my career high in high school basketball, 10 points.
So you're saying you're a different man than what Stacy fell in love with?
Yeah. Well, I'd come out of my shell by that time. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway,
maybe you should profess your love to Stacy.
Well, yes, I do. Of course, I do love my wife.
Oh, there.
And I'm going to be doing some shopping for her today.
It never works when you say, "Of course, I love you, dear." That's always retreating. You should be on the offensive.
I love you.
Yeah. This is Andy's hour of how to love your wife, Steve Shetler.
Show is taking a turn. I think it's time to end it.
Probably.
Andy, I appreciate you. I thank you for your time. Do a great job hosting Sports Section. Hope you have a great Christmas. You and the McGuire family have a great Christmas. And we'll be back here next Saturday. We're going to try to dig into some wrestling because high school wrestling is generally always busy on Saturdays. But I think here the next couple of Saturdays might be a little bit more calm with them with the holiday season. So we're going to try to load up on some high school wrestling the next couple of weeks here on the sports section. So tune in. We'll be back here next Saturday live, 8 a.m. for the sports section at Barnwired in downtown Sigourney. Andy, have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
Merry Christmas.